So by now, everyone's heard Vegito back in black and ready for action in Dragon Ball Super. So hype, so legit. But they put out the limiters on Vegito's power. Now, this retcon was introduced alongside Vegito, that now, the Supreme Kais or Kaioshins, when they fuse with the Potara earrings, the fusion is permanent. Now, this obviously extends to just having one Supreme Kai. That's the reason why Goku Black and Zamasu is a permanent fusion, because Zamasu fulfills the Supreme Kai quota. Same thing with Old Kai. Old Kai and the Witch. Well, guess what? Old Kai was a Supreme Kai, a Kaioshin, so the fusion is permanent. Same thing with Kaioshin and Kibito, yada yada yada, you guys get it. However, if a Kaioshin or a god is not present in the fusion, then it only lasts for 1 hour. Now this, of course, is a retcon. This is different than what was explained earlier in Dragon Ball Z when the Potara fusion earrings were first introduced by Old Kai. Over the last couple days, I've sort of been gathering my thoughts about what sort of changes and how this kind of alters the story a little bit of what's going on with this retcon and Vegito and all this, and I kind of came up with 3 things that I'm not the biggest fan of with regards to this retcon. So let's jump into these. Now, of course, the number one reason why I'm not happy with this retcon is as simple as this. Old Kai introduces the Potara earrings as a method of fusion to Goku. Now, at the time in Dragon Ball Z during the Buu saga, Buu had absorbed Gotenks and risen to a power level that even Ultimate Gohan could not stand up against. So Old Kai determined that drastic measures were needed if they were to bring down Majin Buu. So he gave Goku his life so Goku could return, and he also gave Goku his Potara earrings so that Goku could fuse with Gohan and they would form a warrior who Majin Buu could not defeat. Now Goku, his original idea was to do a fusion dance. However, Old Kai said that Buu would not allow them the time to do the dance, and its power is not as strong as, ta-da, these magic earrings, which are instant, and they are also permanent. Now, this is important, guys, because Goku even says, should we be Super Saiyans before we fuse? And Old Kai says, no, fucker, because the Super Saiyan form is unstable. This fusion will be permanent. This could shorten your lifespan, being in your Super Saiyan forms while fusing. Being Super Saiyan, then putting the earrings on, fusing, they'll be stuck in their Super Saiyan forms forever, and the fusion would last forever, thus reducing their life. So, by all accounts, Old Kai was thinking that the fusion between Goku and Gohan, which was what was originally intended by Old Kai and Goku, was going to be permanent. There were no hints at all of any sort of time limit or anything. Now, the reason I have a problem with this is that Old Kai has never been shown to be incompetent or lacking in knowledge. Look at this. So the Kaioshin is introduced early in the Buu saga, right? Tells them about Majin Buu, about Babidi, yada yada yada. Constantly surprised and in awe and shock of Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan's abilities, their capabilities in defeating Yakan, Pui Pui, fighting Dabura even at an even level. The Kaioshin constantly shocked, constantly surprised, constantly unprepared, constantly fucking up. Anytime, it almost became a meme in the Dragon Ball community how incompetent the Kaioshin is, considering at the point he is introduced as the highest being we're aware of in Dragon Ball, and he's proven to basically be, I don't want to say a loser, but he's just fucking up every second. And because of Buu destroying all of the other Supreme Kais, the Kaioshins, his training was not complete, thus there were many things he did not know about. So, when Old Kai is introduced, he is the opposite of Kaioshin. Old Kai knows everything. He completed all of the training. He knows about the Potara earrings. He constantly is coming up with plans and power-up methods to help Goku and the gang defeat Buu. Think about it. He does the I mean, if you want to call this an ass pull, be my guest, because it is. He brings Gohan's potential out, turns him into Ultimate Gohan, the Potara earrings. He is constantly coming up with ways helping them to finally, defeat Majin Buu once and for all. Now, the point of this is, at no point is it ever shown that there's some sort of info or knowledge that Old Kai is lacking. He knows essentially everything. He knows about Buu, despite being sealed in the Z-Sword for, what is it? I believe it's stated to be millions of years, correct? So now that this retcon about the Potara fusion not being permanent if used on non-Supreme Kais, non-Kaioshins, all this does is paint this as something that Old Kai was not aware of, which makes no sense why Goasu would be aware of this, yet Old Kai would not be. That doesn't click with me. I don't like that. Old Kai is not the incompetent moron that the Kaioshin is. Old Kai knows everything. He should have known this. Now, this next reason might be nitpicking just a bit, but this does change my opinion of the Super Vegito vs. Super Buu fight that takes place after Goku and Vegeta fuse and become Vegito. Now, throughout this battle, Vegito is just toying with Buu, trying to upset him and block any techniques Buu is capable of using so that Buu will eventually run out of options and absorb Vegito, similar to how Super Buu decided to absorb Gotenks because he couldn't do anything against Ultimate Gohan. He would absorb Vegito and gain his power, thus defeating Vegito. Vegito knew this and wanted Buu to absorb him so that he could then free Gohan, Goten, Trunks, and Piccolo from inside Buu's body. So because of this, Vegito let the fight drag on for quite a long time and was toying with Buu quite a bit. Now, of course, after Vegito is absorbed, he has a barrier on to keep himself from being absorbed, and when he lets the barrier down, Vegito defuses and turns back into Vegeta and Goku. Now, no official reason was ever stated why they defused. It has nothing to do with magic or any shenanigans, any Buu stuff you might have heard. The only thing that's even kind of mentioned is Goku says the bad air in here, the bad atmosphere in here must have caused us to defuse. Again, since obviously the time limit wasn't, created at this point in time, there was nothing ever stated. So the retcon here with the time limit on the fusion could be to help explain why Super Vegito defused here, although let's be real, the more likely reason is either money, or the fact that they wanted to give future Trunks a reason why he was capable of defeating Merge Zamasu instead of Vegito, because Vegito defused. Now, here's the problem with this. So, Vegito, as we now know, was working on a strict time limit. He was fucking around that whole fight. What would have happened then? Ding, ding, ding! If Vegito defused before Buu absorbed him. Then, after Vegito just spent this past hour toying with Buu, pissing him off, fucking with him, Buu is not going to hesitate to instantly destroy Goku and Vegeta, and Goku and Vegeta stand no chance against Buuhan. Zero, zilch, nothing. Buuhan is the strongest form of Buu. Ultimate Gohan is stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Goku. And what you're doing is you're adding Ultimate Gohan's power to Super Buu's power. Super Buu, Goku is scared to fight Super Buu. Then you just add Ultimate Gohan's power to that as well. Goku and Vegeta would have stood no chance against Buuhan. So, now when you watch this fight, as I did after watching Dragon Ball Super Episode 66, it's like, wow, now it turns from Vegito dominating, shoving his dick down Super Buu's mouth to, holy shit, did Vegito catch a fucking break that he didn't get absorbed, 2 minutes later, or else the universe would have been fucked. I don't like that. That now it's just blind, dumb luck. Not the biggest fan of that, although I guess really this isn't that big of a deal, I suppose. Although, man, they had to make the coolest characters, coolest fucking moment, and they had to degrade it. They had to bring it down several notches. Very disappointing. And of course, a third disappointing reason with the retcon to the Potara earrings and showing how Goku and Vegeta defused from Vegito is this damn time limit on all of these fusions. Let's break it down. So when Goten and Trunks fuse to become Gotenks, they have 30 minutes, the standard 30-minute timer that is, there for the fusion dance. However, once Gotenks ups his transformation to Super Saiyan 3, he is only able to hold that transformation for 5 minutes before it drains Gotenks' power and the fusion's power. So thus, essentially making the fusion dance for Goten and Trunks practically worthless. It's only a very, very, very short burst of power. Dragon Ball GT is not canon anymore, but let's also examine this. Of course, I believe Super Saiyan 4 to be the strongest form of Super Saiyan. I believe it's stronger than Super Saiyan Blue, stronger than Super Saiyan God, all of that. So it is, just work with me here as I make some slight assumptions, but things that seem to be very safe. You're not supposed to make assumptions, but these are relatively safe. So Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, they fuse to become Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, who I believe is the strongest character we've still seen. Even though GT is not canon anymore, I do think Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is stronger than Super Saiyan Blue Vegito, although I do think a Super Saiyan 4 Vegito would be stronger than a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, if you guys are following me here. Now, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, likewise with Gotenks as Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta also only has 5 minutes before the power of the Super Saiyan 4 runs out or whatever and they defuse. Now, this does make zero fucking sense because Super Saiyan 3 is shown to be kind of an unstable transformation, and both Goku and Gotenks are not able to hold it for any sort of period at all. So you can sort of buy the timer with Gotenks. But Super Saiyan 4 is shown to be by far the most stable of all of the transformations that the Saiyans can take, even more stable than the Great Ape. So it's just very odd that the time limit would drop to 5 minutes as Super Saiyan 4 with how not crazy and wild the Super Saiyan 4 transformation is in regards to time limits and all that stuff. And then now we have a similar case with the Potara fusion of Goku and Vegeta becoming Vegito. In their Super Saiyan Blue form, it appears as though the 1 hour time limit is now drained down to 5 minutes, just like Gotenks and Gogeta. Thus, this pretty much eliminates fusion altogether. There's no point, since the heroes are now all at the level where their powers are so high that these fusions just boom, 5 minutes and are done, so they're not able to get anything done. Now, I believe if Super Saiyan Blue Vegito is defusing after 5 minutes, I think it's a very, very safe bet that Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta would also defuse after 5 minutes. I've seen some people sort of discuss what would have happened had Goku and Vegeta done the fusion dance and become Gogeta instead. Now, I think Gogeta is, a medium amount weaker than Vegito, although I do still think Gogeta would have been able to handle Merge Zamasu. In the end, I don't think there would have been any difference whatsoever had Goku and Vegeta opted to do the fusion dance over the Potara fusion. I think it still would have run out at around the same spot Vegito did. I still think Gogeta would have been able to handle Merge Zamasu the way Vegito was. People are still pissing me off because they still are talking about how Vegito didn't appear to be that strong and Zamasu was kind of giving him the business, and it's like, hello, Vegito dominated the entire fight. Zamasu barely touched the man. Like, let's be real here. Gogeta, I believe, also would have done the same. So that means I also believe Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta would have this strict time limit. So basically any fusion that we can see is going to last only about 5 minutes if you're going to take any sort of meaningful transformation after the fusion, thus showing that because of this retcon, there's now no go-to fusion for the characters to do, because it'll all run out quickly. So this does sort of seem to be a way to kind of end fusion as a gimmick in Dragon Ball, which is a shame, because I thought the best part about the Buu Saga by far was the concept of fusion, and it certainly is a fan favorite. I don't know any people that don't like fusion. It's a dope and sick idea. But you guys let me know, what did you think about these 3 things I brought forth? about the problem with the retcon of the Potara earrings and the slight depowering of Vegito. What do you guys think?